All right, I was at a Pierre Poilievre fundraiser. This was at the Wall Center downtown. It was about 400 people strong. So these were Poilievre's close supporters, people running the campaign managers, but it was also just business owners, homeowners, people that just want to see a change in Canada and that are concerned about this slow slide into all-out socialism under the Trudeau Liberals. So first of all, this guy was an absolute rock star. He is a phenomenal speaker. He talked a lot about the gatekeeping economy that's run by bureaucrats. He's absolutely right. All of the jobs that have been created under this Trudeau government are in the public sector. Private sector growth has sputtered, and it's not sustainable because you need to have entrepreneurs and business owners. So he went on about small government, low taxes, less red tape, a more business-friendly environment, which is he's preaching to the choir here. This is what I've been saying on my channel for the last 4 or 5 years here, that government is not the solution to anyone's problems. Government is the problem. He also went on to talk about the carbon tax, which will increase costs all the way along the supply chain. This at a time when we're just finally getting a grasp on inflation here, highest interest rate increases since the 1980s, and he's talking about a carbon tax. This is the worst policy that could possibly be implemented right now. But I see the left painting this guy as some kind of a right-wing radical. I've even had some of the lefties go so far as to call him Trump-lite, and I would encourage you to actually take the time to listen to what this guy says, because he's absolutely nothing like Donald Trump. He's a free market enterprise guy, as am I, but that's about where the similarities end here. So it's about common sense. It's about having a sound monetary policy, balanced budget. The liberals and the NDP, they are the radicals here. They are left-wing radical socialists, and they're going to destroy the city and this province if we don't give them the boot here. But I have had some comments here that Mr. Poilievre and the Conservatives are going to fix this broken housing market. I hate to tell you guys, but you can't fix it if it's not broken. The idea that a truck driver and a cocktail waitress are going to pool resources and buy a single-family detached home in Kitsilano, if you believe that, you are absolutely dreamy and technicolor here. Housing is inflationary. It is always going to at least keep track with the rate of inflation, and there's always going to be an inflation in the economy, for the simple reason that the alternative, deflation, is terrible for an economy. So you'll always have some inflation, and housing will always keep up. And in supply-constrained markets, in markets that are geographically constrained, like Vancouver, oceans, mountains, and the agricultural land reserve, those typically increase in value far higher than the rate of inflation. If you look at Vancouver, we're looking at about 6% compound annual growth here, which means prices double about every 10 to 12 years. And no politician, no change in government is going to change that. He goes on to say that Canada has the highest home prices in the G7, even though we have the most land to build on. And this is where I will call Poilievre's bluff here. It's a good line. And again, I'm a huge Poilievre supporter. I'm a conservative, but people come to live in Canada. Generally, they're not aspiring to live in Winnipeg, Manitoba. They're not moving to come to Regina, Saskatchewan. These are just not aspirational cities like the city of Vancouver. So yes, we have a lot of land in Canada, but most of it, no one wants to live there. Yeah, but you can move to these places. You can buy a detached house for $300,000 in a lot of these markets. Our prices, when adjusted for the exchange rate, are fairly aligned with what you would buy real estate over in the US here, with the exception, of course, of Vancouver and Toronto. So brass tacks, though, what I've always told you guys, do not count on politicians to help you get into the housing market. How many times have I told you this? I'm a huge supporter of the Conservatives. I think if anybody's going to turn this country around, it's going to be Pierre Poilievre. And I do think they're going to make strides just by having a less hostile business environment. We can actually get shovels on the ground and get product built here. But that being said, again, don't expect any of these politicians on the left or the right to help you buy a home. If you're going to get into this market, it's going to be 100% on you. I'm Jay Coupar. Feel free to comment below or subscribe. Click that green icon if you want a quick assessment of your home value, and I usually get that to you within a couple of days. See you in the next video.